I don't really, when I get on mic, I don't really know what I'm gonna say. Like, sometimes I'll have a few things that, if something pops into my head, I'll say it, and I'll think I'll just talk about that for a bit. Like I've said before, it's just like so I can look back on it and just, like, some of the stuff I filmed when I've been having an episode, and I've been talking, and I've been talking like this, and I talk like this all the fucking time, just talking fucking nonsense, and that's kind of the voice that I did when I used to get, like, unwell. I thought it was like, it wasn't me talking, it was like, I was like giving me voice, my mouth to somebody else, and it was like, I didn't have no control over it. It's like, like, I believed at the time that, like, the creative zone in my brain was how, like, spirits and unphysical energies can, like, come back and communicate to the living, or communicate through somebody, or give somebody an idea. Because I had no other way of explaining where all these ideas were coming from, because they weren't coming from me, because I'm not really that creative. Like, I'll have an idea and usually it'll fizzle out after a few minutes, or like half an hour, a few days, or I never get it finished. But like I've said, when I'm unwell, it just comes to me and I'm just trying to explain it. Especially when I started doing all these stupid voices, like, I could have a conversation with myself doing that voice, like, and just doing that voice and just talking to myself. And when I changed my voice, like, something in my head flipped or switched over, and the personality kind of changed, and I started swearing a lot, or each voice would have certain things that they would say, or certain, like when I go hospitals, that's like, that would, when I used to say that was like a trigger in my head, so I'd know that when I say that, or when that thought to say that popped into my head, that was like a different entity, or a different, coming through. And that's how I, like, could, that in my head, that's how I was, like, tuning into these entities or whatever from, like, another realm. I don't know. Well, obviously I do know now. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain, and it's like dreaming when you're still awake. It's just crazy. It's just hallucinations and stuff. You can bring it on with drugs. If you give somebody, like, certain drugs, you can bring on hallucinations. And I don't know if you can give somebody drugs that makes them hear stuff. I've never heard of that before, I don't think. But no, but yeah. I don't know how long I've been getting on mic for. 3 minutes so far. So yeah, I'm just chilling out at the moment, thinking I'd share some thoughts with anyone that wants to listen. I'm not in an hospital or anything. If you can hear stuff in the background, I've just got, like, hospital soundtrack on, just so it's like ambient sound in the background, just so it's not complete silence. Yeah, so where was I going with this? What else could I share? What else could I talk about, I guess? Yeah, it does bring back memories there and all, like, beeping. And when you're in hospital, the experience is, like, I suppose it's different for everyone. If you don't smoke, hospitals are a lot better, because you can just, you can get a TV in your room sometimes. But I heard that hospitals in, like, America or in some other country, a lot of other countries, I know a lot of them are really bad. Like, the conditions, like, there's so many packed into a room, and the medication's only what family can provide, and they ain't got no health care of any kind, so they're just kind of locked up and just hope that they get better on their own. But a lot of them hospitals, I've heard, there's 2 to a room. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine being in unwell in an hospital in an unfamiliar place, and there's somebody next to me snoring or just babbling to themselves. Or I think I'd need that privacy. I don't think I could handle it. I think it wouldn't be it wouldn't really help me that much. I don't think having somebody else in the room constantly, like, I'd feel that they were watching me. I think it'd make me worse. But the difference is, even though if it was just 2 to a room, it'd make me worse. But if it was like a big dorm where there was like maybe 12 beds and you had like a curtain around, like a typical hospital, what you'd expect, that would bother me less. Because I'd feel safer for some reason, because with more people. I wouldn't feel safe if it was just one other person with me. Because you just don't know. You don't know what somebody's going to do when they're not well. Anyone can do anything, and you never say never. I just said it, but yeah, I'm just going to spark up a cig. I've been trying to cut down, but I haven't been doing too well. Still been smoking quite a bit. But that's not the reason for making my videos. I'm not doing I'm cutting down smoking video. Look at my progress, which I think is a good thing. I think if you can get support for cutting down or doing any kind of addiction, I think that's a good thing. Sorry about my microphone. I should really invest in a better one, but this one's like adequate. It's I can hear it back clearly enough. I know it's probably not suitable, but I'm not making videos anything special, just using what I've got at hand. Like when I was younger, I used to like edit stuff with cameras and film stuff in the garden and go through the woods and film birds and trees and whatnot and edit it all together and put music on it and stuff. And I had like 3 VCRs all connected together, and that was a real fun time when I was younger. I still do stuff like that now, and I haven't really changed. The only thing that's changed for me is my mental health, and that from being 16, 17, it's had an impact on my life, but I've grown to live with it, and I don't mind. It's who I am now. I still have my off days, but most days I don't do too bad. I've got a lot of support and help, so that's good. I'm making these videos and just talking and having something to say, and it's just, I suppose it's positive, just not actually just thinking in your own head, getting on, just saying it out loud. Well, saying it out loud to yourself, I suppose, if you do that too much, it's not a good sign. It could be a sign that you're going a bit crazy. Yeah, so my day, I've actually had a good enough sleep last night, so that's another reason I've got a mic. Don't usually sleep too good at all. Sleep crap. So yeah, where was I going? What am I going to say? Well, I hope we all have a good day today. And I'm going to get off there and leave it at that. Right, I don't know what I'm going to title this video. If I'm going to title it, I'll just stick it in stuff where I got a mic or microphone recording folder or playlist and just leave it at that. Because these are just for you, Nathan. These are just for you to look back on and listen back to. Because they're so shallow. You're so shallow. You just like listening to your own voice back over and over again, don't you? And that is all the shit that I used to do to myself. I used to leave myself little recordings. I used to leave myself little recordings for myself to play back because I liked listening to my own voice. I don't know if that means I'm narcissistic. I don't think I'm narcissistic because I don't even know what narcissism is. I just when somebody says narcissistic, I just think, oh, you're just a bit of an arse. You're not a nice person, But I've heard narcissistic people can be nice, but I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, and I don't really want to go down that path because it's just too much reading, and I don't like to read. So yeah, I just thought I'd break not character, but I just thought I'd just do something a bit stupid like I used to. Because when I listen to these back when I'm not well, because I'm going to keep them, I've got a separate recording of them, so I've got like a backup of them. And next time I'm in hospital, I'm going to listen to these back to myself, and I'm going to probably read into it and interpret it to myself. So when you're listening to this back to yourself, Nathan, you're in hospital now, but you'll get out soon, so it'll be okay. and life's not too bad. It gets better. And I hope you're vaping. I hope they allow you to vape in the rooms, because they're probably going to ban that with it setting off the fire alarm so much. They'll say you can't vape in the rooms anymore, and you'll have to go outside for a cig. But just chill out and be nice to everyone. You get out quicker. So that's just a little message to myself for the future. It's not relevant to anyone else that's listening. But yeah, but no. But computer says no. Hospitals. Yeah. All right. I think I've ended it about 3-4 times, and I've just carried on talking. But I think this video's been going on long enough. So thanks for listening. Don't subscribe, don't like, and don't comment. I don't mind. That's not the reason I do these. To be honest, if somebody offered to pay me and said you have to make like 3 a week, or you have to like do, I wouldn't be interested. They're just for my own personal documentation and like archiving of all my own stuff and whatnot. Alright, take care, stay safe, and be good to each other.